Deep in the heart of Amish country, there's a secret world hidden from outsiders, a world hidden by simplicity and tradition. How do they grapple with the challenges of modernity while maintaining their steadfast commitment to tradition? And what happens behind closed doors in Amish bedrooms? Join us as we delve into the mysteries of the Amish culture and uncover what they don't want you to know. The Amish story goes back to 16th century Europe, during a time of big changes in religion. In the middle of all this change, a group called the Swiss Brethren started. One of their leaders, Jacob Amann, had a big influence on the Amish way of life. The Amish wanted to have freedom to practice their religion and live peacefully, so they moved to America in the 18th century. They settled mostly in rural areas, building close communities focused on farming and sharing values. Today, there are about 370,000 Amish people in the United States, mostly living in places like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. Their main beliefs come from Anabaptist traditions, including a special baptism that shows a person has chosen to live like the Amish. But not everything about the Amish is simple. Some of their practices, like ignoring people who leave their community, show that their world isn't without its problems. And while they stick to their old ways, it can be hard to do that in a world that keeps changing fast. For the Amish, following traditions and not changing is really important. It's not just about what they wear or what tools they use, it's about how they live every day. They try to keep things simple to avoid getting caught up in stuff like money and looks. Instead, they focus on being good to each other and working together. Being peaceful and not using violence is a big deal for the Amish. They avoid fighting and try to work out problems by talking. Their plain clothes are a way to show that everyone is equal, and their names show where they come from and who they're connected to. Dealing with new things like technology is something the Amish do slowly and carefully. They only use what they need to keep their way of life going, like power from the sun and phones they share. For young Amish people, there's a time called Rumspringa when they get to see what life is like outside the community before deciding to stay or go. Keeping their language alive is really important to the Amish. They speak a special kind of German called Pennsylvania Dutch, along with regular German and English. These languages help them remember where they come from and what they believe in. Joining the Amish faith means embracing a whole new way of living, from learning their special language to dressing plainly and giving up modern gadgets. In Amish schools, teachers from the community focus on practical skills and values over regular school subjects, creating a strong sense of togetherness. Their economic system is all about self-reliance and helping each other out. By farming small plots of land and running family businesses, they keep their focus on honesty and sustainability, not just making money. Central to Amish religious life is the Ordnung, an unwritten code of conduct that governs various aspects of their lives, from dress to social behaviors. This evolving set of guidelines reflects the autonomy of each Amish community to understand and enforce these rules according to their local needs and interpretations of the Bible. The Ordnung stands as a guiding light for the Amish, shaping their interactions with the world around them and reinforcing their commitment to a life separate from mainstream society. Adherence to these unwritten rules is integral to their identity, underscoring their dedication to spiritual beliefs and community values. One unique part of Amish life is Maidung, where people who break the rules are shunned by the community. While some say it's harsh, the Amish believe it helps people think about what they've done and change their ways. The consequences of Maidung extend beyond social exclusion, particularly for those who choose to leave the Amish community. Adaptation to life outside the insular world of the Amish can be daunting, given their unique upbringing and limited exposure to modern norms and technology. In more conservative communities, departure from the faith can lead to complete disownment by the family, further complicating the transition to a new way of life. Despite their insularity, the Amish engage with the broader world in various ways, including healthcare. While they prefer natural remedies, they do seek professional medical care when necessary, often paying out of pocket or through community funds. This approach reflects their values of mutual aid and self-reliance, guiding their interactions with modern systems while maintaining their distinct way of life. Interactions with media and popular culture offer another point of contact with the outside world, though the Amish tend to shun attention, consistent with their values of humility and simplicity. Despite the sensationalized portrayals often seen in the media, the depth and complexity of Amish culture remain largely misunderstood by the public. highlighting the challenges of bridging the gap between two vastly different worlds. Despite their reluctance to embrace modern technology and media attention, the Amish have become subjects of curiosity and interest, leading to a form of cultural tourism, where outsiders visit their communities to experience their way of life firsthand. However, even as they open their doors to visitors, the Amish maintain strict boundaries, prohibiting photography due to their belief that it contradicts biblical notions of humility and idol worship. As the modern world trespasses on their traditional way of life, the Amish face multiple challenges, from land scarcity to the increasing complexity of legal regulations. Despite their resilience and adaptability, controversies have emerged, highlighting the complexities of their existence. One such controversy surrounds Amish buggies, symbols of a peaceful, slower pace of life that also present significant safety concerns, particularly on public roads. Traffic incidents involving buggies have resulted in tragic deaths and injuries, raising questions about safety practices and the enforcement of laws. Furthermore, reports of mistreatment of horses within the Amish community have raised alarm. Incidents of animal cruelty, including overworking and neglect, have drawn attention to the welfare of horses, which play a central role in Amish transportation and agriculture. The fate of horses in the Amish community, often worked rigorously until they are no longer useful, highlights broader concerns about animal welfare and ethical practices. Organizations like Saddlebred Rescue work to rescue horses from slaughter and advocate for better treatment of animals within the Amish community. Additionally, the issue of puppy mills, often linked to the Amish community, has sparked debate and controversy. These large-scale commercial breeding facilities prioritize profit over the well-being of dogs, leading to substandard conditions and inadequate care for the animals involved. While precise figures are elusive due to the transient nature of these operations, estimates suggest a significant presence of unlicensed breeding facilities, raising concerns about animal welfare and breeding practices. The genetic landscape within Amish communities has also garnered attention, revealing a high prevalence of rare genetic disorders. As a result of prolonged intermarriages and a closed community, these disorders have profound implications for affected individuals and underscore the need for medical intervention and support. While the portrayal of the Amish community often focuses on their simplicity and strong bonds, there are darker aspects that remain hidden from public view. One such area is the prevalence of abuse within these communities, particularly instances of child abuse and sexual abuse. Investigative reports have uncovered harrowing accounts of abuse suffered by women and children within the confines of the Amish community. Victims often face significant barriers to seeking help or justice, including a prevalent culture of silence and fear of repercussions. The patriarchal structure and emphasis on forgiveness and obedience further add to these challenges. Documentaries such as Sins of the Amish have shed light on the extent of this hidden epidemic, with survivors sharing their traumatic experiences and highlighting the culture of silence that enables abuse to persist. These revelations underscore the urgent need for support and justice for victims and signal a growing awareness and courage among some members of the Amish community to challenge long-standing norms. Despite these challenges, there are signs of change within the Amish community, with some individuals bravely speaking out against abuse and advocating for reform. This gradual shift underscores the importance of continued dialogue and action to address systemic issues and ensure the safety and well-being of every individual, regardless of cultural or religious affiliation.